I am very excited, and we'll see where this conversation is going to take us. This is the fun part.
Yeah. That's
Uh,
what I love is just letting the universe decide where we go and what folks are meant to hear today.
Absolutely. I'm tapping to so much joy and happiness, but I would love to start. Well, there's never one entry point, but I have to ask this question before we get into all the healing magic of tapping. If you can share one of your stories, because I know you've had quite an unconventional path. So, what led you to EFT? And yes, what is it that you would like to share with us today?
Yeah. How does a grown man find himself tapping on his face for a living?
Mm,
So I actually started out as an actor. I had traveled the world doing theater and went to Hollywood to be a movie star, as one does. And when I got there, I met a woman, fell in love, and got married. And
mhm,
when our first child was on the way, I thought, I might need a backup career.
mm,
So I saw an ad for hypnotherapy school, and I thought, I've always been fascinated by the power of the mind. That would be an interesting secondary career. So I started building a small practice alongside pursuing my acting career. And about 2.5 years later, when our second child was on the way, I realized that as much as I loved acting, doing personal development work was my calling. It's like
mm.
this is what I'm meant to be doing. We left Los Angeles, and through some other hypnotherapists, I heard about this energy psychology conference going on in Las Vegas, and this guy was teaching a process where you tapped on your face, and I thought, okay, that sounds interesting. I'll try that out.
Mhm.
And fell in love with the technique, and little by little started introducing it into my hypnotherapy practice until little by little it became my main tool for working with folks to help them clear the blocks to feeling better, doing better, and living better.
I love it. And do you remember that specific moment when you had that realization that this was definitely your calling? Once you've started incorporating that EFT into your hypnotherapy and you started helping others, when was that awareness? Oh, I'm really helping, I'm really making a difference. This is something that I really want to do more of.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It was I mean, there was a moment in my acting career where there were some opportunities that looked like they were promising,
Mhm.
and it was kind of like a fork in the road where it's like, if it goes this way, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And when it didn't go that way, that's when I was able to sit there and recognize, yes, this is what I'm meant to be doing. And while I don't think that I had fully allowed myself to see that while I was still telling myself I'm an actor, I'm supposed to make it as an actor.
Mhm.
There's a lot of pressure on folks when I made the move and left Hollywood. I had friends who are actors are like, oh, so you're quitting.
Mm.
There's this thing of, you're giving up. It's like, no, I
Mm.
recognize there's something that I love even better, but I didn't realize it until I'd gotten to that moment where it's like, okay, let me really take a hard look at this. And actually, I do enjoy this work even more.
Mm.
And there is something that connects. And I loved doing hypnotherapy, and I still do hypnosis as part of my sessions. But after I learned the tapping and incorporated that in, I found that it was so useful for people to be able to do it on themselves much more easily than teaching people how to do self hypnosis.
Mhm.
That it became a more profound tool, and then being able to do it on YouTube. It was pretty early on. I just started putting things on the internet when YouTube came along, and I thought,
Mhm.
hey, wouldn't it be cool if there's a tapping video that people could use to start their day? And I'll
Mhm.
call it Tap of the Morning.
Mhm.
And that was all I intended to do, is like that one video. It's like, okay, great, I've got a video on YouTube. EFT is out there for the world. And 6 months later, I thought, I should probably have a video for people to end their day. And I'll call it
Mhm.
Tap of the Evening, and then I'm done. And
Mhm.
then a few months later, I had another idea, and then another idea, and now there's 1,500 that I've made now. So I didn't quit
Mm-hmm.
acting. I've just simply switched so that I've now written, directed, produced, and starred in 1,500 of my own short films.